What's up, guys? Welcome back. So, you just found out you got orders, you're going to Minot. What's next?
Bring it here, baby. Release. There you go.
So, I've been in Minot for 2.5 years as security forces, and I'm going to tell you it's not as bad as you think. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. It's not as bad as you think. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. Yes, there's cold winters, but I'll touch on that later. So, first things first, Minot was my first duty station. I got here in December of 2019. I was assigned to the 91st Missile Wing, and that was my life for a bit, tripping out on tour. As of right now, and as the time of filming this video, the trip outs, if you're coming to be a missile cop, are not bad. It's a week on, at least when I was tripping out a couple months ago, week on, week off. There's a week on, week training, week off. I know they kind of changed it, but it's still a week in the field, 2 weeks not in the field. It's not that bad, honestly. As long as you have something to occupy yourself with, there's a gym at the MAF, and that's where you'll be tripping out to, the missile alert facility. There's a gym. The cooks are always pretty good. I haven't had a bad experience with the chef out there. So the food is good. They got a gym. There's TVs. You can bring your PlayStation, your Xbox, whatever, hook it up. There's free Wi-Fi out there that you can hook up to. It's not the fastest, but it is free Wi-Fi, so you can use your electronics, your laptop, your phone, stuff like that. So they're not as bad as you think. Okay, you're also, most of the time, you're not just constantly for a week long responding to alarms. That's not usually how it goes. So originally, I had mine on my dream sheet, and if you're one of those rare people that did, then you kind of know, you have your reasons as to why you want to come here. Mine were for the hunting and fishing opportunities. Big into the outdoors. If you've seen my channel before, big into the outdoors. You can see behind me, I got animals hanging up. Love hunting, love fishing. So I put Minot down on my dream sheet. I also put on my Minot down on my dream sheet for kind of stable life. My wife and I had just gotten married. I didn't want something where the schedule was super unpredictable. And with the field, and being a missile cop, now I can't speak the fifth side. I know people on fifth side. And if you have questions and you're coming to fifth side, which is the base LE, drop those questions in the comments below. I'll reach out to my buddies on fifth side, and I'll get you the best, most accurate and up-to-date answer I can. But yeah, I chose Minot. I wanted to come here. I think it was number 2 on my dream sheet for that steady life, and also for the hunting and fishing opportunities. Now, outside of that, if you're not big into hunting and fishing, there is the North Dakota State Fair. It's a big fair they put on. Unfortunately, COVID took a lot of that away from me to experience my first 2.5 years here. That being said, I've heard stories of it. It's always a great time. They have music, food, rides, typical fair stuff. They have the rodeo in North Dakota, if that's something you're interested in. In Minot specifically, they have, I think it's called the Norcoast Fest. Basically, it's a Norwegian fest where there's drinking and dancing and Norwegian foods, and it's this big production that gets put on by the Norwegian Heritage Center that's in North Dakota, or in Minot, excuse me. So that is pretty cool. As far as what you have when you're on base regarding around your job, right? So you'll come here. It's your first time, first duty station. You're going to come here. You're going to get a sponsor. Your sponsor is going to help you navigate through that first week or two, getting your gear issued, going to phase one. If you're first time coming, it's your first duty station, you're going to hook you up with, excuse me, with FDAC. If you're asking why I have a beard, I know it may be distracting. I'm on isolation because a couple guys on the team tested positive for COVID. I tested negative, no COVID, but here I am still on isolation, so I decided I'm going to grow it out. So again, that sponsor is going to get you going with your gear setup, with your phase one, which is going to teach you everything you need to know, basics about your job. They're going to hook you up with your first term airman course, and that's if this is your first base as a new airman. Use FTAC, so that's first term airman course, use that to get relationships, to gain relationships with people outside of your career field, because I guarantee it will help you along the way. I met a friend who was a personnelist, and when I had issues with a couple bits of paperwork of mine that weren't going through, I was able to give her a call, and she was able to straighten stuff out for me pretty quickly. The DFAC, so if you were not married, you're living in the dorms, have access to the DFAC, you'll be on the meal card. The DFAC, as well as Rockers, which is like a bar and grill. They have a little bistro, and almost like a little diner. The food is good. I'm not gonna lie. The food is pretty good. There's always a side that keeps something different, something rotating. There's always a side that has your healthy options. So if you're into going to the gym and into working out, they have your chicken, your rice, your broccoli, your red meat, all that sweet potatoes, and they always have that, and they cook it fresh for you. That being said, about gym life, there is a big gym. Minot does have a pretty big gym, and if you get your CAT card registered, it's 24-hour access to that gym. And again, there is a gym in the MAF. So if you like working out, you're going to have plenty of time to work out with some pretty good equipment as well. Now, outside of that, what's life like in Minot? What's life like if you're married, if you want to explore? So Minot in North Dakota is kind of rural. And I say that as to not sugarcoat it and say, oh, there's going to be so many activities to do. There is going to be activities to do if you make those activities. If you don't, you're going to think Minot sucks. And you're going to be miserable for your 4 years here. But if you actively try to engage and find things to do, there are things to do. If you're over 21, there's a couple bars. A lot of people go to. I don't go to the bars that often, and I haven't gone to the one in question, which is sports. But a lot of my buddies go. They dance, have a great time. In the summertime, there's water and lakes all around. You can rent kayaks from Outdoor Rec. You can rent boats from Outdoor Rec. There's opportunities to go and get out on the water. Outdoor Rec also puts on, like in the wintertime, they'll do ice fishing. They'll do a sled dog race. All the single airmen in the dorms, they take them on a trip to Minnesota. There's a lot of opportunities. You just have to be looking and help yourself create those opportunities. As far as play life outside of your job on base, there's a bowling alley as well. A bar and grill, so all the fights, all the games, the bar usually has on the TV, and you can go there, get some. They have really good food. It's Rocker's Bar and Grill. You can go there, get some good food, watch the game, watch the fight, whatever. There's a commissary. There is a BX on base, albeit the commissary is a little bit smaller. But one of the better places to buy meat here, if you're looking to meal prep or just cook meat for your dinners or lunches or whatever, commissary is probably going to be your best bet price-wise. The BX has all your essentials. I grew up near a really big base that had a huge commissary that was like 20-some miles that you get lost in. As a kid, I hated it. and a BX that was just as big, that I loved because there were so many goodies. The BX isn't that big. That being said, it does have the necessities. So, as a new airman in the dorms, everything is right around you. You won't need to spend a whole lot of money. Yeah, and it's right there. So if you venture off base, there's a Target, there is the mall, and the mall has pretty much whatever you want in a mall is in the mall there. There's a Walmart, there's fast food all up and down Broadway, which is the main street that cuts through Minot. It is about a 25-30 minute drive into base, so just keep that in mind. The base itself is not super connected to a town. So you drive 30 minutes south and you're in the town of Minot. You drive an hour so north and you're up in Botno. And that's kind of the nearest bigger towns. Bismarck is about 2.5 hours south, and that has a lot more. I mean, that has a Cracker Barrel. I think they're getting a Chick-fil-A as well. Minot does not have a Chick-fil-A. But Grand Forks, which is northeast, about 4 hours, they have a Chick-fil-A. There's Canada. As soon as the borders open, there's Canada. You can go to Canada. Bismarck, there are the Badlands, so you can go see bison at the I think it's the Theodore Roosevelt National Park, wild horses, all sorts of cool things. So get out and explore. Don't take your assignment to Minot as, man, my life is gonna suck, because I promise you it won't if you try to make the best of it. If you don't, then it might suck if you spend your whole day in your dorm or your house complaining about how bad it sucks. Last but not least, the weather, because everyone says, why not Minot? Freezing's the reason. It gets cold here. You're a state in the north. It gets cold. There's nothing to break up the wind. It gets windy here. There's not a lot of hills, a lot of trees. It's a lot of farmland. That being said, the past couple winters we've had have been pretty mild winters. And take that with a grain of salt, because there were weeks, a week at a time, where it was -60. And they consider that a mild winter. I don't know why. I thought it was cold. But you're going to get all the gear to keep you warm while you're driving, while you're working. Invest in a good pair of gloves for when you're not working, and a good pair of gloves, or a good jacket, when you're not working. If you guys want, I can make another video detailing kind of what you would want to have, the bare necessities coming to Minot for the first time, as far as, clothing, even your vehicle choice, although I've seen pretty much all vehicles, including a Lamborghini here. So if you have a vehicle and you're worried about it, I wouldn't be too stressed. It will make it through the winter. Just make sure you have a good battery, a new battery, and you change out your fluids before the winter. That is a big plus. Otherwise, your battery will die, or you'll have issues down the line that winter. During the summer months, it gets hot. It gets up into the hundreds. That's when it's great to go to the lakes, stuff like that, go outside. The mosquitoes here are pretty big, not going to lie. And there are ticks. Now, that being said, it's a very, very, very small chance, in a very tiny, tiny population of the ticks that carry Lyme disease, and they haven't really been documented in North Dakota. So if you're fearful about Lyme disease, there's that. Hopefully that'll ease your nerves a little bit. There are ticks, but they're not a huge factor, unless you're not wearing bug spray and just rolling around in tall grass. But yeah, so that's kind of what weather is here. It's winter. You got about a week of spring, and then summer, a week of fall, and winter again. You will have snow. I don't know if you guys can hear it. They got the testing the alarm system going on right now. But yeah, guys, that is Minot in a whole. Sorry, I know I might have rambled a little bit. I want to give you guys as much information as I can, so you're semi-prepared. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, drop them down below. I'll make sure to get to them as quick as I can. If you have specific questions about a specific squadron you're going to, reach out to me. I can try to find answers the best I can. And for some of you guys who are watching this, I will be attending your tech school graduation, um, along with the chief and the commander at some point in the near future. Can't get into dates. But yes, so I will be coming to talk to maybe some of you who are watching this video. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Have any questions, you know what to do. Like and subscribe to, please, guys. I want to get this video out to as many people as I can to kind of, shed some light on the trueness of Minot, and then it's not all bad, I promise you. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Have a great day. Thank you all for watching this video. If you guys like what you saw, you guys want to see more, go ahead, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'm going to be pushing out as much content as I can. Thank you again so much for watching.